and just keep up the prayer for rapid and complete healing. I want to talk a little bit about something that many of you are aware of. There was a group of oppressed people who finally got fed up and started to protest and caused some property damage. The whole incident was known as the Boston Tea Party. Protest is part of our DNA here in the United States. And with the advent of video camera in everybody's phone, suddenly we're seeing videos of what African Americans have been telling us for decades, that there's something wrong, and that there's undue use of force in punishing and even killing people of color. This last week, up in Minneapolis, one of those people with a video camera actually followed a white man who he saw breaking windows in Minneapolis and starting fires, and tried to follow him as best that they could and got a glimpse of him. And now that they've got a video of the guy, they're looking for him up in Minneapolis. But there was chatter over this last week on white supremacist websites and Facebook pages about this is a great opportunity to go out there and create anarchy. Start the police shooting African Americans. It's time for us to really face up, to this original sin of bigotry and racism that we have had as part of our DNA for 400 years. I remember me and Tom describing how he went through the Georgia Police Academy in the 1990s. He said what he discovered was the vast majority of police officers are good people. People who are willing to help other people, to serve and protect, as they say. He said, but about 10% of them are just bigoted goons who are looking forward to the opportunity to having a billy club and a gun and go out and create some havoc. So I think what we need to do is to encourage police officers to change the culture in police departments. As many of you know, I grew up in Chicago. And was in Chicago in 1968 when the investigators said, there was a police riot outside the Democratic National Convention. What we can do is to write police chiefs and say, we need to change the culture here. You can't continue to condone or ignore brutal behavior by a police officer, especially if it's happened more than once. We need to talk to the police officers that we know and say, you got to get this stopped. We can't keep this blue code, as they call it, of feeling that you need to protect each other when someone has genuinely done something wrong or heinous. And we can also do what we do so well here in Unity, and that is to pray. We can pray to soften the hearts of those who are now in anger or fear. We can pray to see people's attitude of attitude of fear switch to love. We can see people expressing love, peace, and harmony, and that the Holy Spirit that we know is everywhere can change this culture, change this attitude, and that we can genuinely listen to those who have a grievance without feeling that we need to get defensive or physically violent. I thought the daily word for today was very appropriate. For Sunday, May 31st, 2020, the daily word is love. The affirmative prayer is, I am a loving presence to everyone I meet. I am a loving presence to everyone I meet. Let's say that together. I am a loving presence to everyone I meet. It has been said that the world needs more love, but the truth is that all the love the world could ever need is already present everywhere, because God is love, and God is present everywhere. Created in God's image, I am a divine love in human expression. I know that love is much more than a positive feeling. Divine love is the energy of oneness and wholeness itself. As I remain centered in divine love, I know oneness in God with all people, including those who are dear to me and those that I have never met. Divine love helps me see good everywhere and in everyone. I look beyond conflict and limitation and find the good that is always mine to discover. And from the Bible, beloved, let us love one another because love is from God. Everyone who loves is born of God and knows God. It's from the first letter to John, 4th chapter, 7th verse.